Hey guys, we're going to start social psychology today with talking about attribution theory and also personal perceptions, how that changes our beliefs, thoughts, actions, all these things. Here we go. Let's get into it. Social psychology, our definition, it examines the power of the situation as well as all those things I said, how we think about, how we influence, and how we relate to other people. This helps us understand why some people can behave brutally and others heroically. And honestly, if we're in the same situation as somebody else, we would likely do the same thing. We'll look at a bunch of studies in psychology, how we conform, how we're influenced by others in situations. It's awesome. It's awesome. So the first thing we'll start out with is attribution theory, perceiving ourselves and others. And this is really interesting. It's when we explain behavior by either individual disposition, so like character, enduring traits, or the environment, the situation that somebody's in. It can be difficult to determine which one has the bigger influence, the disposition or the situation. This leads to the fundamental attribution error. And this is crazy. We do it all the time. For other people, we overestimate the impact of the situation and we underestimate personal disposition. So this is with something good. So that person, that kid on my team, he plays varsity because the coach likes him, situation, but he's not really that great of an athlete, disposition, right? On the other side, though, we flip it and we have this self-serving bias for ourselves. So we attribute our successes to our personal causes, right? I play on the varsity team because I work really hard and I'm gifted. I am not very gifted. And then we attribute our failures to situational factors, right? I didn't fail that test because I didn't study. It's because the teacher doesn't like me and the test was too hard. Situational factors. All right. For example, me as a teacher, if a student doesn't turn in an assignment, I might look at that student and be like, oh, she's not doing very well. She must not be working very hard, right? That's disposition. That's looking at her traits and her character versus maybe she doesn't turn an assignment in. I'm like, gosh, I wonder if something's going on at home, right? That's looking at the situation, giving credit to the situation. Now, these attribution errors can lead to the just world phenomenon. This is when we justify social inequalities by believing that other people get what they deserve. Again, messing with that attribution error. In addition, we have confirmation bias. And you know what this is. When we search for information that supports our preconceptions or distorts contradictory evidence, right? If you get an argument with a friend, you're like, I know this is true. So you get on the internet, you're looking for stuff that supports your arguments or goes against their arguments rather than the other way around. The other way around is good science. We want to look for things that disprove our beliefs, but that's not what we do with confirmation bias. On the other hand, I love this. There's the halo effect. The halo effect carries overall positive feelings for a person to specific personal qualities. Right? So if I meet somebody and they're really nice and outgoing right away, I immediately am going to hold them in higher esteem. I'm going to be like, man, that person is super nice, outgoing, but also I'm sure they're very kind, they're trustworthy, they're smart, all these other positive qualities. The false consensus effect is when we overestimate the degree to which everyone else thinks and acts the way we do. So maybe you've experienced this, right? You meet somebody, you're talking for a while, you kind of hit it off, and then they say something that just comes out of left field, and you're like, whoa, I don't really agree with that at all. You had this false consensus where it's like, oh, I think that we are going to be more similar than we actually are. All right, then we go finally to self-beliefs here. Our self-concept bias is what we consider important in ourselves is what then we consider important in other people. Let me give an example. As core beliefs, interests, occupation. So I'm a teacher. When I meet somebody else and we're chatting and then they mention they're a teacher, immediately I would be like, man, I really like this person, right? We have this deeper connection. I also love running. That's one of my interests. And I meet somebody and we're talking and they're also a runner. I'm like, oh man, I really like this person even more because we have this shared interest. The self-fulfilling prophecy is a belief that leads to its own fulfillment. So look at the graph up there. We got beliefs. Beliefs lead to our expectations that influence our behaviors, which causes results that in turn support those inaccurate beliefs. So that's self-fulfilling prophecy. This can be for good or for bad. So I love this quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Right? So whatever you believe, you're going to probably fall through. Those beliefs are going to lead to expectations, to behaviors, to results, and it's going to continue that cycle. Last thing here, last term I have for the day, spotlight effect. This is when we overestimate how much other people pay attention to us. So if you show up to school one day and you have a stain on your shirt, you're like, oh, everybody's going to notice, see my stain. And honestly, probably nobody will even notice because they're worried about other people looking at them because their own spotlight effect. But spotlight effect thinking other people are looking at us or paying attention to us more than they actually are. All right. Holy smokes. That was fast, you guys. Woo! Quick notes today. All right. Review time. A student has just failed a psychology exam. No! Which of the following explanations is least likely to be evidence of the self-serving bias? Least likely. The room was too hot for me to be able to concentrate. The material was too hard. Nobody could have passed the exam. I didn't study hard enough. I was having a pretty bad day when I took the test, or my teacher hates me. Listen, teachers don't hate you. They love you. The answer, does the picture give you a clue? Little girls hanging out, having craft time, making a craft. I don't know. Is that a construction paper flower? I think maybe looks like a good craft. According to the attribution theory, Pablo is most likely to attribute his high score on a difficult exam to his classmates' inadequate preparation for the exam, his intelligence, the low level of difficulty of the exam, his instructor's teaching ability, or good luck. Attribution, character, traits. It is B, his intelligence. B for bedtime. That kitty, he's taking a nap, probably in a sunny location. I don't know. I love cats. Last one. Kelly sees her acquaintance Carly help another student who dropped her books in the hallway. When asked about Carly later, Kelly says that she is not only helpful, but she's also generous, smart, and attractive. Which of the following best explains why Kelly describes Carly with additional positive qualities? You know this. What's this called? Actor-observer bias, normative social influence, social facilitation, foot in the door, technique, or the halo effect. It is the halo effect. E for, I want one of those so bad, an electric scooter. I could ride that to work every day. Oh, it'd be awesome. All right, before you go, give me a quick 20-word, one-sentence summary. It's going to ingrain it in your brain. You're going to remember it. It's going to be great. You guys are the best. Well done today. That was cooking. Next time, we got some more fun social psychology. Pew, 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 pew. What is that? I don't know. Oh, a little bit of coffee bonus. All right. More about a protein bar. Don't mind if I do. All right, 2 bites. I got 2 bites.